Hello and welcome to ENCORE, the arts and culture programme here on hemisphere&quot. I'm Jade Barker. Great to have you with us. Coming up in today's show, Arnold Schwarzenegger is back. He's famous for playing muscled-up action heroes, but Arnie tells us he plans to put that behind him for more complex roles, starting with his latest film, Sabotage. Plus, the Argentinian capital's nickname might be the Paris of the Southern Hemisphere, but it's always been tango, not ballet, that's taken centre stage there. Now, a new initiative is hoping to change that. And melding love with art and photography with painting, we check out the latest colourful and quirky offerings from French duo Pierre and Gilles as their works go on display here in Paris. First, he promised he'd be back, and he was true to his word. After a political stint as the governor of California, Arnold Schwarzenegger has had a hard time regaining his status as an action movie star, with films like The Last Stand and Escape Plan disappointing at the box office. That looks set to change with Sabotage, with Arnie playing a rather morally grey character. Our LA correspondent, Valerie Defert, sat down with the Terminator star to talk about his 45-year Hollywood career, putting politics behind him and proving he can play complex roles.
Get your weapons. Let's go.
At almost 67 years old, Arnold Schwarzenegger is back on the big screen with an action-packed movie called Sabotage.
Here we go. Let's move, let's move.
The story of a DEA unit that steals from a drug cartel.
Reach. Get in there.
The muscles, shootings, and shady agents make for an ultra-violent movie. It's the perfect recipe to confirm Arnold is back.
Has led to a seizure of millions of dollars in cartel money.
The director, through his writing, gives the audience kind of an insight of what happens when people are on a job, and a very, very stressful job, like being in a SWAT team. What happens when they're for years and decades trying to infiltrate into the drug cartel.
While the shoot-'em-up scenario is certainly not unique, these characters are more profound than in many other Hollywood action movies. In fact, Schwarzenegger gives a much more nuanced performance than usual.
Grab your stuff and I'll drive.
Can you tell me what you like the most about this movie, Sabotage?
It's a character that I've never played before. It's a kind of a movie that I've never done before. In most of my movies, there's a very clear black and white, good versus evil. In this movie, that's not that clear.
Hey, Mark.
To flesh out his character, Schwarzenegger enlisted David Ayer, who wrote the scripts for SWAT and the first Fast and Furious. The writer-director caught his attention with the 2012 film End of Watch, a critically acclaimed drama about the LAPD shot with a handheld camera to make it more realistic.
Arnold had seen my police movie End of Watch and wanted to bring me on to do exactly that, to help present him in a different way and to make him a much more realistic character.
So you wrote it knowing it was for Arnold?
Yeah, well, I went and did some work on the script for Arnold, and together we worked on the character and worked on the story. And as a director, to take somebody who's so iconic and so legendary and then to really humanize them is in my mind, just a fun and difficult achievement.
Schwarzenegger is a Hollywood legend with a 45-year career. The Austrian-born star arrived in the U.S. at 21, was named Mr. Universe 5 times, then made a fortune in real estate before conquering the film industry. Since his first big role in Conan the Barbarian in 1982, Schwarzenegger has headlined a string of action movies and comedies like Twins and Kindergarten Cop. Almost 50 roles in Hollywood, he's the epitome of the American dream.
He showed up here with nothing. He showed up with a shirt on his back and a couple of biceps. And step by step, inch by inch, turned that into a quintessential success story. And he was very, very smart about the projects he chose. He was very, very smart about how he went about managing his career. You never saw him play Hamlet. You never saw him do things that he was not capable of doing.
Despite the disastrous debut of his movie The Last Stand at the beginning of 2013, Schwarzenegger isn't slowing down. At 66 years old, he has multiple projects in the works, but his political career seems over.
Have you put a complete end to your political career?
I'm not a career politician. I mean, I wanted to just do that job because I felt that California needed someone to unite and to bring the two parties together rather than always fight and not get anything done. But when my 7 years were over, I said, I'll be back. And that's exactly what I did. I went back to show business, which was a passion of mine and a love of mine, and now I'm doing movies again.
Schwarzenegger had one of the most incredible career changes in Hollywood. The bodybuilder turned actor was elected governor of California in 2003. To get the state out of bankruptcy, Californians called on the Terminator for help.
Even though in the movies you know me as the superhero that takes care of everything, but in real life it's different. I need your help.
Schwarzenegger, a Republican, lowered taxes and fought for the environment. He also defended gay rights and supported gun control. But he failed to stem the deficit, and his tenure was considered disappointing. Still, unlike other politicians, the wealthy star always refused a paycheck as governor.
I don't need to take any money from anybody. I have plenty of money myself.
In 2011, Schwarzenegger was termed out of office, and as promised, he got back into the movie industry. Lately, the box office hasn't smiled on him, but everyone's waiting to see how he fares in a return to the character that made him a legend.
Terminator.
The fifth installment is currently being shot.
Is it the most important role in your career?
Maybe more important roles will come up. Maybe Terminator 5 will become the most important. I don't know. Right now I look at it as a sequel to Terminator. And now we do the fifth one and I'm back again. I felt honored that they asked me to come back.
After Terminator, Schwarzenegger will tackle another safe bet, the return of Conan the Barbarian.
Well, talking of comebacks and reinventing oneself, it's been 2 years since Anastacia released her last album, It's a Man's World, and 1 year since she won the battle against breast cancer for the second time. Now, the Chicago-born pop singer is back with her aptly named sixth album, Resurrection. The singer says her struggle with illness was the inspiration for the album. Let's take a listen now to the first song off the record called Stupid Little Things. Now, when you think of busting a move in Argentina, tango probably immediately springs to mind. But more recently, ballet has been taking centre stage in the capital, Buenos Aires. A new initiative is giving young people from all walks of life an opportunity to change the country's cultural landscape, as Olivia Salazar-Winsibir explains.
Pliés, grand jetés, and of course, pirouettes. Dancers at the National Ballet for Integration Company are warming up before the curtain rises at the Coliseo Theatre in Buenos Aires. The Argentinian capital's nickname might be the Paris of the Southern Hemisphere, but it's always been tango, not ballet, that's taken centre stage here. The newly founded company's aim is to give talented young people a chance, regardless of their social background.
I had always dreamt of being a professional dancer, but in San Juan you can't do it. You have to leave. In San Juan I did this as a hobby. I only trained 3 times a week, so I was really scared of coming to Buenos Aires because it meant a big change in my life.
The initiative has support from the Ministry of Social Development. Members were selected after 32 rounds of auditions across the country, from the suburbs of Buenos Aires to the snowy peaks of Ushuaia. The artistic director of the company, Iñaki Urlezaga, was principal dancer at the London Royal Ballet for 10 years. Back on home soil, he wants to create a legacy that will outlive him and his troupe and become an established part of Argentina's cultural landscape.
The nicest thing about this project is that it's almost certain that if we take care of it, improve it, support it, these are cultural policies that can have a lasting effect. The important thing is that it endures over time.
An ambitious project that hopes to break down social and geographical barriers through an art form that's still considered elitist by many. And judging by this audience's response, Argentina's National Ballet for Integration has a bright future ahead of it.
Finally, they're famous for their opulent portraits of iconic celebrities like Andy Warhol, Madonna and Marc Jacobs, but with a bit of a twist. French artistic duo Pierre and Gilles have been combining painting with photography since they met in the 1970s, creating colourful and quirky images. They've got a new exhibition on at the Templin Gallery here in Paris called Heroes, which once again depicts some of their famous friends in rather saucy situations. We're going to leave you now with some of those images on display. See you for more culture soon.